Welcome to A Gang of Girls Radio. Join your host, Ariel Grace. Ariel will bring you interviews with the best alternative experts on health and wellness, sustainability, astrology, metaphysics, spiritual, paranormal, and heroes from around the world. Now, here is your host of A Gang of Girls Radio, Ariel Grace. On WGOG Digital Broadcasting.
Good evening, peeps. This is Ariel Grace from A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com. So come on, hop, skip, and jump right on over into chat because I know you're going to have questions from my guests tonight. I have two very lovely magical ladies that are going to join us tonight, and they are just rocking. So I know you're going to have questions for them. It's the Spring Equinox show. For those of you who are into the equinoxes or the solstices, this is a show to listen to and maybe even join us in chat. So you can join us at chat at either letstalkradio.net or agangofgirls.com. You can't miss the button. It says chat. You can sign in through Facebook, Twitter, or you can be mysterious and sign in as a guest. So I do have a couple of announcements before we start the show. For those of you that have been wanting or have been waiting for the Kindle Countdown deal for I'm Psychic, Not Telepathic, and Haunted, a Psychic Story, the Kindle Countdown is going on right now. It's 99 cents, I think, until tomorrow. So go on over there. For those of you who do not have a Kindle, there is a free Kindle app you can find there on Amazon. Download that to your tablet, and then you can read the Kindle book. It also comes in paperback format as well for those of you who like paperback. Okay? So those two books are on sale right now. You can check out A Gang of Girls radio blog for our guests, see what the info that is there, because I blog every week about the guests and what they're going to be talking about and who they are with their links and everything, so you can check them out. Okay, so tonight, this lady is, she's going to be on again on A Gang of Girls Radio again and again and again. Yes, I think so. Her name's Laurie O'Driscoll, and I really like her. She is a pioneer metaphysician. Like, she's been around for 45 years, and she knows and she has seen and she has done. And it's really cool to just, chat with her because she knows a lot of cool stuff. Like, I learned something new tonight just from chatting with her, and it was very fun for me. So yes, she's going to be on again and again. So this show tonight, she's going to be talking with us about the spring equinox. But in case you don't know, her name is Laurie O'Driscoll. And again, she is a pioneer in personal growth and transformation using inspired ritual and ceremony. Her work as a spiritual guide and channel of light has taken her all over the world. She has been featured in many top magazines. Over the course of her 45-year career, she is the creator of Life Magic, a 108-day program designed to propel you into a heart-centered life and open up the path to living your holy purpose. She is also the author of Tarot and A Course of Miracles, Life Magic, You Are a Rose, and The Gift, Molly Rose Series Book 1. And I've read The Gift, and if you want a good read, hop on over there to laurabushnell.com and order that book. It's an awesome book. So Laura has a deep connection to the Divine Mother and carries holy relics of feminine saints for prayer and veneration. Now, I have seen through Skype some of her holy relics, and I'll tell you what, her holy relics glow. Like, their auric fields are beautiful. And so, they are real holy relics. It's like, they're so awesome. So in her book, The Gift, there's some information about holy relics as well. So if you're interested in that, there's a good way of learning about them through a story. So tonight we're going to be talking about the equinox with Laura and what she does during this time of year. I also want to recommend to you that the veils are thin now. So for those of you who are interested in seeing the elementals, the fairies, please sit down quietly, maybe in your yard or on a walk, and really open up yourself to be able to see them and be able to converse with them and talk to them. Okay, because there's another magical lady. Her name is Melinda Carver, and you can check her out. She makes magical fairy dust. So you could grab some fairy dust from Melinda Carver and then pour it all over your head. I've been doing that this week, and it's been pretty awesome. I've had some good results. And pour it on your head, go for a walk, and just quiet yourself during sunrise or sunset. That's the best time to see them. And that way you can connect with that wonderful elemental kingdom, because you never know what could happen, especially here on planet Earth. All right, so I want to welcome Laura Bushnell. Hello, Laura.
Hello, everyone.
So how do you, because you're a magical person. So, how do you celebrate the spring equinox?
I do. And I start preparing for it usually right around the Chinese New Year. And I'm not really consciously doing it, but that's what has happened to me over the years. Because then I'll look and go, oh, this is why I'm doing it. And I start cleaning my house, cleaning drawers out. I also feel like it's really important to, keep away from cell phones once in a while. Stay away from gossip, stay away from judgment, stay away from people that are not of a good, strong, high vibration for you, because the equinox is a time of clearing and it's a working time. It's a time when you can make a lot of progress on your spiritual path and really find yourself standing in your body, being in your body in a whole different way. Because the earth is actually calling you to notice her and pay attention to her, which is also your body.
Right. Because we're connected. We're all connected. Yeah.
Yeah. And so right now the earth is, getting ready to come alive. In some parts of the world, she is more alive than others. I'm in Montana and it's not quite alive yet. But what I did today, and I'll do it now and through the equinoxes, I go around with a stick and I just kind of pound on the earth a little bit, knock on it, and I thank her and I tell her it's time to wake up. And I thank her.
Wow.
We nudge her awake here because nobody likes a loud alarm. I go around and I kind of knock around my little area, and you can do it in a park. You can do it you can do it anywhere. You can do it over cement if you have to.
Right, because a lot of our cities have that. They have cement. Right.
It's communicating because the earth is alive just as you are, and Gaia, wants to communicate to you, and she wants you to speak to her and notice the flowers, notice the rocks, speak to her. She listens. And your body elementals will really thrive by communication with Gaia.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good idea because I never thought of that. I lived in Colorado for years, and snow, cold snow, and snow.
Yes.
So when it finally did stop snowing, we would all have a big, huge, a drum circle or something like that to celebrate, the end of winter and the beginning of spring. And that drum circle, everybody would start to feel that energy rise up. You could feel the energy just moving all around you through that. It was really awesome. So,
like you said, the fairies are all, They're waiting to make contact because the veils are dropping away.
Right.
I think this equinox, more than any other one, I felt like it's stronger than we've had in the past few years. There's a lot of darkness that people have had to go through to rise to the light. So it's a time to resurrect yourself as a spiritual being and to remind yourself that you are light and and just acknowledge what you've gone through and how you're still here because you were given life.
That is, yeah, that's really cool. I resonate with that. You know, I hope our listeners are resonating with that too, because even between our personal selves and maybe our cities, our states, our country, maybe we've felt like, ugh, but now is a time where we can really come together and either make changes that we need to make or make changes within ourselves, which is cool. Making that resurrecting. Yeah. Cool.
Rising up and standing tall.
Mm-hmm.
Like a redwood, you know?
Yeah.
Strong and tall and be able to move a little bit with the wind. You know, redwoods rarely fall.
No, they don't fall.
Yeah, so we have, and they also communicate to each other. So, you know, we have this communication possibility with you right now for people to all connect together and connect to Gaia and just bring a lot of light through your body and down into the earth and just, you know, share, because we're not takers. We're giving to her too all the time. And she knows that. And now it's the time of balance because the night and days are equal on the earth. And so it reminds us to equalize our male and female energies.
And that is another good idea to come up with too, is balancing our male and female energies. You know, because so many people are like, oh, you know, the feminine beings, you know, have to like take over and stuff. And every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, we got to balance it out, guys.
Yeah. Because we all have both of them inside of us that we need. And you know, some of it might not be awakened yet, but it's definitely there. And it takes muscle using it, you know, taking the trust to listen to ourselves and then act from a place of, you know, power, but with grace.
Yeah. So for those of you considering all of that and looking at the earth, we do give back to the earth all the time. We are standing on it, you know, and the energy flows through us and down back into Gaia. So for those of you that feel like maybe you don't give enough to her, you know, you're always giving. It's like an equal exchange of energy. So just remember that and stand on the grass, stand on the ground, put your feet on the ground, open those chakras up.
Yes. And really, Sudha, we're also having a lot of magnetic storms right now.
Are we?
Yes, and it looks like they're going to be really significant. They started on the 15th, and they go probably until the 27th or so. So it's like a magnetic solar bubble is surrounding us on this equinox. So everything, I think, is going to be really intensified, and it's a real quickening.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so and I think there's a lot of people out there that right now are waiting for a change. And they're feeling a change coming. And you're going to start seeing, you know, the plants come, whatever you've planted, the little seedlings are starting to come up from the earth as we go into spring. So I think you're going to get a lot of clarity as we pass through this month. This could be quite an interesting ride as we go through this month. But I think you'll find that April is a bit easier.
I've been feeling that too. I've also been feeling like this month is going to be like the thing that unplugs, you know, the cork that's slowly coming out, and then finally the cork is going to release in April and things will start. There's going to be more movement. So,
yes.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. Well,
so before that, there may be some, you know, some of these symptoms of, you know, nauseousness, dizziness, tired, aches and pains. This is often the case when we have a lot of solar activity.
I've had a headache for 3 days.
Oh, wow, it's probably because of this. I've been waking up with really achy joints the last couple of days. So I know there's a lot of really powerful energy that, our bodies may have a hard time. So make sure you drink a lot of water. Make sure you really connect yourself to the earth and, cloak yourself when you're going places that could be challenging for you. Just a really thick red cloak around your body, or pick a color that whatever comes to you, just wrap it around you.
Right.
I always ask the archangels to help you, and be really compassionate and gentle with yourself. Don't take things personally right now because you're going to be a little sensitive.
All right, so you hear that, peeps? Remember to wrap yourself up in your blankets before going out and about into the world to make sure that, you're not picking up other people's stuff and that you're clear on what's going on, especially for the next couple of weeks. Make sure that you happen to do that. And if you're having body aches, just like Laura has said, remember to flush yourself out. Get yourself some water, some good water, and maybe even put some lemon juice in there to assist yourself so those aches and pains, are able to move through you and you're through it, because cloaking yourself or putting yourself in blankets, energetic blankets, really assists so that you're not feeling like you're picking up other people's burdens. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be a psychic sponge.
Yeah.
Not very fun. Then you have to, every once in a while, just, squeeze yourself out. Have a life.
So make sure that you're doing that because it's for your higher and better good, and it's not being selfish. It's actually, it helps you. So if it helps you, it helps others.
Just notice how you're feeling. Just really pay attention to your emotional body. How are you feeling? And you might be tired. You may need to spend a little time alone or rest. Take a nice salt bath. That sounds pretty nice.
That actually does sound nice.
Baby yourself. Nurture yourself.
Because it is spring, and this is the time for nurturing. It's the time for clearing and nurturing. So you're probably seeing a lot of articles or a lot of info about cleansing and doing cleanses and clearing your home and cleaning your home and maybe even shifting everything up. We're going to talk a little bit more about that too after we come back from our break, but we're going to talk about what is a good way for you to go about clearing and cleansing and uplifting and taking care of you, because when you take care of you, you can take care of others when you feel good. So make sure to rest. So I just want to go over that to make sure, because here lately I've heard a lot of peeps, they are going through a lot of things. And if you're saying that there is like a magnetic bubble around the earth right now, and it may seem harsher, we need to assist ourselves with feeling better.
Exactly. It is going to accelerate anything. So, stay away from the news if you can. Don't hang out in the news thing for a long period of time because there's a lot of just fear-driven stuff out there right now. There is a lot of the time, but I think it's a little bit more so right now.
Right. It's been pretty intense. Like I check in once or twice a week just to make sure that I'm up to date and then I'm done.
Yes, me too.
Right. So, yeah. And I feel like, don't hang out on the news channels. All right.
Because they're just repeat it over and over again. So just get it and go off.
Right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about life magic. We're going to talk about cleansing and clearing and how it is for your higher and better good. So stay tuned. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net.
Absolutely, positively has to be the best. WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk. Shopping, dining, beautiful lakes and rivers, and a monster? Welcome to Braxton County, West Virginia. Centrally located, Braxton County, West Virginia is the ideal place to visit. Natural beauty and recreation abound with 2 beautiful lakes for easy kayaking and canoeing, and many hiking trails. Did we mention the Flatwoods Monster? That's right. Visit Braxton County, West Virginia's Flatwoods Monster Museum and not only learn about the Flatwoods Monster, but walk in the same footsteps as the people who witnessed it. Nearly all of our attractions can be found within a few miles of Interstate 79. Visit us online at braxtonwv.org. That's braxtonwv.org. Braxton County, West Virginia. Center yourself here. Nothing feels better than a good cleanse to wash away the day. If you think that refreshes you, then experience the ultimate cleanse with Soaps by Susan. Cleansing Spiritually LLC uses only pharmaceutical-grade essential oils, all-natural shea butter, coconut oils, and vitamin E, and tailored toward the ultimate cleanse. Susan uses a skin-safe fragrance with an aroma that brings a smile to your face and takes you to that happy place within. Each bar is handcrafted and custom to order, so it not only cleanses the soul, but also matches your room's decor. Cleansing Spiritually soap makes great gifts, or you can just indulge yourself for a spiritual cleansing you'll never forget. You want some now, don't you? We thought so. Contact Susan Todd to place your custom order at facebook.com/spiritually. Don't settle for clean. Get spiritually clean at facebook.com/spiritually. There are thousands of health and beauty products on the market these days, but how many can you say are truly natural? The name says it all, and Naturally by Darla is here to humbly serve, guide, and help to heal all individuals seeking a more natural way of living. NaturallyByDarla.com provides a wide variety of products and services like essential oils, soaps, balms and salves, powerful mists, and ancient healing techniques. Curious yet? We thought so, and invite you to visit our website, naturallybydarla.com, or call 847-334-1580. That's 847-334-1580. naturallybydarla.com. Humbly serving for over 10 years. Naturally.
.23 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com. And tonight we have Laura Bushnell on, and we're going to be talking about cleansing and clearing, especially for this time of year. You can check out our website at laurabushnell.com. So I have her link in chat. So for those of you that are in chat, you can click on that and look at her website. It's really a nice website. It's very organized, and all the information that you need about her is right there. So check her out again, laurabushnell.com. Okay, so we were talking about spring and how you can keep yourself shrouded or keep yourself blanketed so that you're not picking up other people's stuff, especially right now. Remember, we were talking about energy waves and things like that, I think, last week, and how there's an energy wave that is coming through. So right now, what we want to do is make sure that we're not picking up other people's stuff and getting in the habit of doing that. All right, especially right now, because it's kind of the energy has been a little bit intense, So it's enough just being ourselves. That's what I think anyway. How about you, Laura?
Well, the throat chakra is naturally clean during the spring equinox. So if you think about where that sits on your body, it shows that the energy is moving up from the lower chakras up into the higher chakras. So there's a real opportunity here, using sound, using your voice, and surrounding yourself with as much blue as you can. Blue is a very good color for that throat chakra. And being very conscious of what you're speaking about. I think that's very important. The throat chakra is a very sensitive and very receiving center. So it's a lot of the real intuitive energies do come through the throat chakras. So it's a good time to get higher in your body, higher in your vibration, so to speak.
Right.
And I created a program to help people who feel stuck in their lives. And during this whole March, I have offered it at half price. So what it is a program that is a divine meditation, that is an incantation that calls in certain energies. So I work on you from a distance by using your photograph. Ooh. And then I send you a program that works for 108 days. So you listen to a 5-minute meditation every day for 36 days. And then you stop for 36 days, and then you go back on it again. Because I found that people's bodies just kind of turn off if something's just coming at them all the time. But when you listen to it for just 5 minutes a day, you really take in about as much as you can possibly take in. And then when you don't do it for 36 days, you miss it. Because people say they sleep better and they feel better and clearer than they've felt in a long time. And it propels your energy out. It clears away all those old thought forms, a lot of the ancestral energy that you carry.
Right.
I work on just taking all that off. So that's for a really big cleanse, if anybody's really ready to make a major, major change in their life.
Yeah, because you've talked about, we talked about this before when you were on the show last, just a little bit. And I can relate to that 36 days on, 36 days off. I feel like that's an awesome way to do it because, and I can say this too, I was doing this meditation and we had to do it for a week or something like that. But I forgot how many days I was doing it. And I put it on for the 8th day, and as soon as I put the earplugs in before I went to sleep, I could not go to sleep. My body was just full of it. And it just, not that it was a bad thing, but my body just said, you know what? No, we can't do this. You take the earplug. I kept hearing, take the earplugs out, take them out because you can't do it. And I was wow.
My program comes with a book and a calendar and everything, because I think that's a really good point. You need to keep track of it. And what I find is interesting too is people, have a hard time taking 5 minutes for themselves.
Yes.
Sometimes. 5 minutes to just really be with yourself. And it makes a huge difference. And I think that might be why they sleep better. It may not have anything to do with that, with my voice. It really that they have connected to themselves in a deeper way.
Right. Well, and it sounds like you're when you're working with the ancestral part of it too, are you just pulling energetic layers off? Is that how it goes?
Yes, I am.
Ooh, wow.
It goes in and I start taking things out in a way. And you have to do it. I spend about 10 days doing it because you have to do it slow.
Right.
You can't take it all off at one time. Because I had people, I learned through the years, I've been doing this work for about 30 years. And, you have to do it slow so that the body can adapt to it. People were getting sick.
Oh.
Affected them, with pneumonia, things really, they got a lot of lung issues, which is sadness. So I just move really slowly. People start feeling better and better and better. Sometimes people feel tired when I'm doing the work, but often people just feel lighter, like they've been carrying a load around and it's suddenly gone.
Right.
And
yes.
It's fun. It's an easy thing to do. And I think it's probably the best work that I do.
Well, and it's very intriguing because we do have things in our energy fields. We do carry around things. We're not even sometimes aware of it. And when we have them pulled off, we do feel lighter and brighter. And I get that too. Like I always tell people, take your time with your clearing. Don't rush. There's no rush because it's about evolving, and it's about maturing and growth. And so, patience is needed because there's so many people that are like, well, I want it right now. And it's like, well, if we do it all right now, you're gonna melt.
The great thing is that we don't have to do it alone anymore.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who are doing their higher work that are here to serve you. And that is, when I was going through my early years, that was not the case. So it's a really blessed time.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you started 45 years ago. So when you started, we weren't so I believe that the internet just changed so much. It assisted all of us with support and it assisted all of us with wisdom and connection, and I even mine starting 25 years ago, there were not a lot of people there to assist when we were going through clearing work. But now, there are a lot of really good workers out there assisting. And so, and I'm looking at the description now. Laura is talking about this cleansing process that she does. It's called Life Magic. Okay. And it's on her website. If you click on services, I believe, or no, the store, click on the store, you'll see it. It says 108-day program. And it's for individuals who are ready to change their lives. Now, I've read about it. And
I'd like to gift it to you.
Oh, you would? Oh, thank you.
I would. So send me some pictures. I like to have a full-bodied picture.
Okay.
A headshot and no black or red in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing else in the picture. No animals, no, children, no husband. No, just yourself.
So, all right. So if y'all sign up for this, now, you have to send her a picture of you. Okay. So this is the thing, because that's how she connects. And we've talked about this before, on the show, on connecting, how some, intuitives connect with pictures better than anything else. And so there's a picture, and what I'm seeing here is that, and what I feel like too when I read about this is exactly what Laura said, is pulling off those layers. Because there's layers between our layers, especially in our auric field. And if you can imagine yourself, or if, you've had those auric pictures taken, do you look how big your aura is? And it's even bigger than that.
And if you feel stuck, you probably are. I mean, it literally is like that. It
is.
Yeah. And you can't move. You can't really move forward to do your higher work. So it is a lift. And if you're also in a place where you want to make a big change, or that you find yourself with habits that you know better, that it's not good for you, but you still do it, it has a very, very strong effect on that kind of conditioning.
And that's what it is too. It's conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah. So we want to break those old recordings to assist us with moving up and moving forward. And that's really, what spring is about, as we were talking about before.
Yeah.
So, and many of you I know that have that either work with me or that have worked with me in the past know that I always refer people out to things that I feel like resonates with you. So if this program resonates with you, go check it out at laurabushnell.com, and I'll read a little bit about it. It's like really cool. Like, listen to this. Okay. So, and it says, and it is called the Magic Lady Program too. That's what I like. But for those of you that want to get clear, it's a program designed to give you a look into the world of magic and see yourself through new eyes. So it'll help you see yourself, which is really important, being able to look at yourself and see yourself. And it says, what awaits you is a ritual from old folklore traditions formed from my family of clients. My clients have used these magical programs to change and improve their lives, whether it was for love, abundance, or overall life direction. We're all capable of creating the life we want. So, and we talk about this a lot, about you creating the life you want, not the life that other people want for you. Huh?
You.
So, and that's what we are talking about tonight. We're talking about cleansing and clearing your energy field and your physical body. So Laura, what do you do for yourself to clear your physical body?
Well, I had a 12-day cleanse that I went to, and I usually do that every year, but I missed a year and it really made a difference. So I go on just juices and nutrients, and then I keep that way through the spring equinox. I eat very lightly, I had a little fish the other day, but mainly vegetarian, vegan.
And so now this is the question I have for you. This is the part that I've actually been waiting for. Does Gaia have any messages for us, like a special messages for us to hear tonight?
Yes, she does.
Yay!
Because she talked to me this morning about the mountains and how the mountains were very, very sending tons of energy out, and I could all of a sudden see it this morning. It was really powerful. So I knew she had a message for us. Let me get quiet here for a moment. Ai mo ia tatai mo ko ia tatai. Utawi ia tatai o tatai mo tata mo ia tahi asa ko tatai wai asa tatai mo ia sata. Ita o na ia ta o koko ia ta. Masata ia ta o ia tata ia no eta tito ko ta na we sakata ia o mataka wa ita tamia tata. My beloved, we are undergoing a transformation at this time. You are each an active part of this transformation because it would not happen without you. We all are working together to create a harmony that has not existed on this earth before. There are those that are not ready for this harmony. So it is up to you to carry more until they are ready to carry their own. And we mean to practice your meditation, to practice your quietening and going into your own bones. And we would ask for you to close your eyes and to find yourself within yourself. And let yourself go to some place on the earth, outdoors, and see how much the outdoors experience gives to you and brings to you. And just soak it up in your bones, in your very bones. Soak it up. And what we want you to do is soak up hope, because many of you have lost hope. And we want you to fill yourself up with hope and with the love that we offer you, that every flower is for you. Every bird that sings is for you. And we want you to be in gratitude, because we are all serving you. And we love you with all of our being. The grid pattern that holds the earth vibrates for you. So feel it in your bones. Fill yourself up, breathe in, and let yourself be a clear vessel to receive. Let yourself be who you are meant to be, nothing more and nothing less. Fully activated. That is what we want for you. So receive that as you lie in the spaciousness of nature, because I have spaciousness you have yet to see, and I want you to see it and feel it. I want you to experience life and all forms of it. I want you to understand that when people pass and they give their bones back to me, that I am in appreciation for what was given. I am your mother, and I am here for you. Trust me. Trust that you are loved, and open up to the possibilities that I offer you. Amen. Oh. God blesses you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. So that was a message from Gaia, everyone. And for those of you that are just tuning in, we'll be archiving the show so that you can hear it again. For those of you that want to hear Gaia's message again, we're archiving, so you'll be able to hear the message again, because it was really awesome, and I am grateful. Yeah. So let me know what you think, because my crown chakra is vibrating right now. And that is what it is a channeled message. It is a message from Gaia through Laura. So it's Gaia utilizing Laura as her vessel to get her message out for you, so that you have a better understanding of her, the earth, and how she is feeling about you, and the advice that she gives to you, which is really wonderful. So remember that, that she is enjoying you too, as you are enjoying her. And do not carry the burden around of, like, maybe we're stretching her out so much, but instead just give love and admiration, so that, it's an equal and more exchange of energy, and you feel good about being here on the planet. So yeah, I hope all of your crown chakras are tingling right now. We're going to skip off to a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking more about the elemental kingdom. We're talking to Laura Bushnell tonight. You can check her out at laurabushnell.com.
The best in paranormal and metaphysical talk radio. WGOG DB. Let's talk. If you've ever wondered what your dog, cat, bird, or any other animal is thinking or trying to tell you, now's the time to crack their code. Make this year the year you learn telepathic animal communication and begin using the intuitive and psychic abilities we all have to connect with other species. The free website Speak Good Human is the perfect place to start. Speak Good Human is the internet's largest free animal communication practice site. It features tips, advice, how-tos, and more than 100 animals ready to help you practice and build your skills through telepathic conversation. And each February and August, you can join the thousands of other learners worldwide for the Animal Communication Practice Challenge, when you'll get daily encouragement, inspiration, and camaraderie as you pursue your dream of talking with animals. Get in on the conversation at www.talktoanimals.weebly.com. That's talktoanimals.weebly.com. Or Google Speak Good Human. Not only will your companion animals thank you, but you'll finally be able to hear it.
Your Monday nights just got better. Tune in to ParatalkRadio.com. We are your paranormal talk. On the air, on the web, and in the field. We have guests from all over the paranormal world. We discuss ghosts, hauntings, Bigfoot, UFOs, and more. Check us out on Facebook Live on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern at Facebook.com/ParatalkRadio. Remember, wherever there is darkness, there is always the light. ParatalkRadio.com.
Others say it. We prove it. WGOG Digital Broadcasting. Let's talk.
"47 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com. And tonight we've been talking with Laura Bushnell, and we just received a wonderful message from Gaia. And I don't know, my crown chakra was tingling. I hope your crown chakras were also tingling from that wonderful message that we received from her. And remember, as Maureen in chat said, mutual appreciation is awesome. So, she appreciates you. You appreciate her. Yay!
The cost of giving is receiving.
Yes. And so, one of the most wonderful things that happened this winter is, Todd and I were out in the yard. We had just moved into our new place, and we were out in the yard, and it was I think December, and there was a pink hibiscus flower blooming in our yard. And I was like, oh my gosh, this never happens anywhere else except here. I took a picture of it.
Wow, that's cute.
It was just beautiful. It was a beautiful pink hibiscus flower. I was so excited because it was the middle of winter and I was witnessing this flower, which was awesome. So now, here's the thing, is we were talking about the elemental kingdom earlier, you all, and how much maybe I like it and maybe you like it. And we're talking about how thin the veils are and stuff right now so that you can you can connect to the elemental kingdom and maybe even have, some conversation or energy exchange with them. But Laura is going to be doing, in 6 months from now, she is going to do a fall equinox in the Red Rocks. That was a twister from my tongue. And it's called the Celebration of the Elements. So it's on 9/21 to 9/27. So I'm going to post the poster in chat after our top of the hour break. But what is this celebration of the elements? Can you let us know about it?
It's a retreat that I have been doing since the early 80s. I do one a year, and I do it once in the U.S., and then I do one overseas the next year. So this year is going to be in Sedona, which is amazing. And we spend 6 days together, and each day is for one of the elements. And then the other days are used to learn how to integrate them into your life. But we'll spend one day just with the earth and just listening to the earth communicate to us and communicating to earth. And then the next day is air, the next day is fire, and the next day is water. And it's a very spontaneous, it's really guided in an amazing way, not only where I'm supposed to be, but the dates and just how it's laid out. So it's very inspired and it's very transformational. So, and I like it that you spend like each day connecting to each element, so that you can tell the difference, the differences between like the elements, how they help you feel or what it's like to connect with them. Yes, I've had the volcano go off on fire day. Wind came in and blew all the screens off of the dormitories on air day. One day on water day, we went down to the ocean and there were 25 rebirthers. And we got in the ocean and we all were rebirthed. By these rebirthers that were on a convention. It was really amazing. That's cool. So it evolves and is created by the people that come there. We all join together and make this happen. And it's really very powerful this year. I think it's one of the most powerful years I've ever done. And this again, you all, is during an equinox when the veils are thin. And these are all good times to attend workshops like these so that you can really make those awesome connections, because the elements, a lot of people don't understand the elements. They don't understand that kingdom. And I've worked with elementals before, and I've actually worked with helping them move out of a place that was like a water element in a house usually doesn't work because it needs water and it's not getting enough water. So I've actually helped them move out, and it was such an awesome thing to see, specifically this elemental. It was awesome to see that this elemental realized that they could leave and find their own body of water, the happiness that was in them. And the feeling of that element was really cool to connect with it. So that's what you're going to be doing, is celebrating elements, the elementals. Yes. Yes. So I'll put the elements within us. So on Water Day, we work with emotional things such as past life regression. On Air Day, we're having sound bath. We're doing some breath work. So every day has a different program and different specialists who can come in and do special things too. And then in the evenings, we do channeling of the Divine Mother and of Gaia and ceremony. So it's very transformational. It's a leadership circle. People really come into their own. It's really beautiful to watch. Wow. Yeah. All right. So, and remember, you have those elements within you to assist you all. So, and bringing those out will help you and give you a better understanding of what and how. Connecting to them, connecting to yourself, and feeling it. Yeah, that's cool that you do that as well. Like you're connecting with the elements within each person. That is, because everybody's so individual. Yes. Now I can see why the screens would blow off the dormitory. there's a lot of fun too. After a lot of play, a lot of fun. That's the way I like to work. I like to make things fun. And I think people grow just as much in fun, or even more, than suffering.
Me too. I feel that too. I feel like fun is a very important thing. And I feel like encouraging fun it actually helps raise our resonance we do grow through sadness and that too. But I do feel like growth comes with fun and enjoyment and adventure.
Yeah. All of the above.
All right. So you all check out Laura Bushnell's website. It is laurabushnell.com. The information for the celebration of the elements fall equinox in the Red Rocks of Sedona, and that is in September 21st through September 27th. Now, so if you're looking to do some fun work, some energy work, and have some personal work done, check it out. And a lot of you are like, oh, I got to go to Sedona. Here's your opportunity right here.
That's a special place. It's a sacred place.
And why is it? Why do you think Sedona is a sacred place?
Because it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And do you go there for the vortexes? Do you feel like the vortexes are what create its beauty?
Well, I think the vortex being, again, something that's kind of close to perfection. And you can't look anywhere there that isn't just spectacular and beautiful. And it's awe-inspiring. And I think the energetics of the vortexes do make a difference. Things happen. Energies happen there. Everything is accelerated, and there's opportunities for a lot of growth there, a lot of self-realization.
I have heard from different people. Let me know if this is like what you think. As I've heard from a lot of different people that the vortexes aren't quite as strong as they used to be.
Well, I think that they dimmed, and I think they're coming back. I was just there, and I was really pleasantly surprised because it felt like they were kind of dimmed a bit for a while, and I wasn't really interested in going.
Right.
And I just went, and I went, oh, yes. But there are a lot of tourists, too, so we stay away from all of that. And we have 2 houses and a swimming pool and a couple hot tubs, and everything is away from the craziness. So
the hubbub.
Beautiful view of Cathedral Rock.
Oh.
Really amazing. Just when you just look at it, it's incredible.
Well, yeah. It is majestic.
Mm-hmm. It is. And it's good to go to sacred ground. And the sacred places are changing, I find, a bit. I try to go to the purest and anything that's clear and pure every year. And they're getting harder to find.
Yes.
The ones that used to be those places don't feel so alive anymore. So
maybe
they're to find them.
Maybe they're resting. Like I do feel like for about 15 years or so that the vortexes in Sedona were resting. Like not completely gone.
I think they're coming. It's coming back, but I agree. Oh, it's snowing here. Are we talking about the spring equinox?
We're talking about the spring equinox, and it's snowing, eh? All right. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. So much.
You're so fantastic. I love talking to you and being a part of what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. And so, Laura Bushnell, everyone check her out at laurabushnell.com. And remember, if you want to listen to the channeled message from Gaia, the archive show will be up about a half an hour after our show ends. So stay tuned for the top of the hour break. and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com.
We pause for station identification. It's the little cinder block building on the north side of town with the towel behind it. WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk.
The ultimate penalty. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. That's what President Trump wants for some drug dealers. More live now with Fox's Steve Rappaport.
Paul, during a recent rally, President Trump floated the idea of the death penalty for drug traffickers. Now the White House confirms the president's strategy in the fight against opioids will include capital punishment where appropriate. He'll unveil his plans in New Hampshire tomorrow. House Republican Marsha Blackburn sponsored a bill to deal with the crisis.
There is money in here for education program. There is money for pregnant women and children, facilities money. And one thing we have in this bill is penalties for the drug makers and distributors who are shipping to bad actors.
The president last year declared opioid abuse a public health emergency. Paul?
Steve, new information saying that school and police officials were so concerned about the mental stability of Nicholas Cruz, the student accused in last month's Florida school massacre, that they wanted to have him forcibly committed more than a year earlier. That recommendation never acted on. However, school officials are blaming a local mental health organization for not following through. Well, it could be a rough go in the Senate to get CIA Director Mike Pompeo confirmed as the next Secretary of State.
The thing I liked about President Trump was his opposition to the Iraq War. I guess what I'm perplexed by is that he keeps nominating people around him on foreign policy who actually thought the Iraq War was so good that they want to have an Iran war now.
Senator Rand Paul on CBS's Face the Nation. Fox News learning that Pompeo will meet with outgoing Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and State Department staff tomorrow. Now, if confirmed, as we said, Pompeo would succeed Rex Tillerson, who was fired last week by the president. Russian President Vladimir Putin addressing thousands today who rallied outside the Kremlin after he was easily elected to a fourth term. Putin hailing those who voted for him as a, quote, big national team, adding that, quoting again, we are bound for success. Fox News, fair and balanced. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused a pedestrian bridge to collapse in Florida, killing 6 people on Thursday.
At the time of the collapse, there were several workers on that bridge tightening cables. An engineer with the bridge design firm told the state 2 days before that in a voicemail that cracks had been discovered in the concrete. But that Florida Department of Transportation worker never heard that voicemail until the day after it collapsed. National Transportation and Safety Board investigators are on the scene. They said late Friday that cracks in the concrete alone don't necessarily mean the bridge is unsafe and could collapse. Everything still under investigation.
Fox's Phil Keating, the bridge falling onto a busy highway below. And 2 more victims of that bridge collapse were ID'd today. As word also comes that a local attorney says he'll be filing the first civil lawsuit connected to that collapse. He'll file it tomorrow. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration investigating airbag failures in some Hyundai and Kia cars after 4 people died.
The agency says the problem affects an estimated 425,000 cars. They include the 2011 Hyundai Sonata and the 2012 and 2013 Kia Forte. The problem has been traced to shorted electrical circuits and airbag control computers. Investigators are also looking into whether other automakers use the same computer. Kia says it has not confirmed a problem, but it will act promptly on a recall if it does. Hyundai says the circuits were damaged in the crashes, but it will consider offering loaner cars to customers until the problem is repaired. Joe Tiero, Fox News.
More bracket busting today from college basketball's March Madness. 11th seed Syracuse getting past 3rd seed Michigan State 55-53 in the Midwest bracket. And they now head to the Sweet 16. Today's other squeakers so far, Purdue edges Butler 76-63. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News Radio.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has delivered a one-of-a-kind reading experience, covering everything from psychics, UFOs, paranormal investigations, and more. To subscribe, visit fatemag.com. or call 828-702-3032. That's 828-702-3032. Subscribe and find your true reports of the strange and unknown at fatemag.com.
The Haunted Voices series by author Claire Jim. Not your average romance novels, the Haunted Voices series intertwines romance with ghost stories. Like an addiction counselor and a security guard struggle to free a little girl and her father. Two lost spirits trapped inside an abandoned mental hospital and spirits of the heart. Want more? Then read about a hunky professor in a tweed jacket, a cheeky goth chick, and a pipe-smoking book-hurling ghost. Put them all together in an antiquated library and, well, you get the book Phantom Traces. Or read about a psychic interior designer who reluctantly agrees to renovate a sexy investor's abandoned hotel in Hearts Unlocked, winner of the 2016 New York Book Festival. The Haunted Voices series by Claire Jim. Buy wherever books are sold or purchase at clairejim.com.
Five past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com. I'm your host, Ariel Grace, and in the last hour we were listening to Laura Bushnell. She gave us some ideas about cleansing and clearing for our equinox, and she also gave us a message from Gaia. So for those of you who missed that message, the show will be archived and you'll be able to listen to it later on. I'll be sharing the links. Okay, but the message from Gaia was, it was pretty darn cool. Yeah. All right. So, also, I want to let you know about Clarity 101, which is at arielgrace.net. For those of you who are interested in paranormal, intuitive, spiritual, psychic stuff, check it out. I'll be blogging this week about the fairies and elementals, and that should be very fun for you all. I might even put in a little meditation for you for connection. Okay, and also a Gang of Girls radio blog. You can check that out as well, as I'm always, once a week, I put information up about our guests and upcoming shows. Now, I am doing $50 Fridays. $50 for 45 minutes. It's on Fridays that I do that. And for those of you that want to book, please make sure to book, by Wednesday, Thursday, because I start to fill up. Like it'll suddenly, everything will be full. So please remember to pre-book. I am also doing readings on the other days, which are my regular prices at $55 for 30 minutes and $100 for an hour. Okay. For those of you who want assistance connecting with your loved ones who have passed on or who need that completion thing happening for you, you can get a hold of Psychic Theo at psychictheo.com. He can assist you with that. He is a psychic medium. All right. And for those of you who are looking for astrology, you can check out Rockin' Reverend Rhonda at karmiclaw.com. And for those of you who want to have your one question reading from Reverend Rhonda, please send me your birth time, place, and date and a question. And you can send that to me at agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com. All right. So we do need it. We need your time, birth time, place, and date. And the question. And I'll get it to Rhonda. She pulls up your charts before the show so that she can focus on the question that you have. Alrighty. So for those of you who are interested in seeing a medical intuitive, you can check out Marcella Zinner at marcellaz.com. Now, tonight, during the second hour, we have a different guest. And I have been watching her for a while. I've been intrigued. And I'm excited because she said yes, that she would like to be on the show. Woohoo! And her name is Laurie O'Driscoll. All right. And she is a natural, intuitive empath, lifelong witch, and third-generation cartomancer. She has been providing intuitive guidance professionally since the 90s. She was raised in a family that encouraged fearless exploration in the spiritual and paranormal worlds. As such, she has learned to follow her heart-led path in regards to the craft and her experience of divinity, and encourages others to do the same. You can find her blogging on these topics at her website, where you can also connect with her for a private reading. And her website is laurieodriscoll.com. Okay? So it's laurieodriscoll.com. So welcome, Laurie.
Hi, Ariel. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Yeah, because you're a witch. See, this is what is cool about you, that I've been watching you, and you're like, I'm a witch. And I'm like,
yep.
You go, girl. You're a witch. All right. I love it when people do that, because it's like, yes, cool. So what does that mean to you, being a witch? What does that mean to you?
Okay. Well, to me, basically, it's how I describe the practice of magic, and also how I personally connect with the divine. The word witch itself comes from two Old English words, that look like Wicca and Wicca. Some people say Vicha and Viche. Mm-hmm. And one just meant a man who practiced witchcraft, or a woman who practiced witchcraft. And nowadays we just say Wicca for the modern incarnation, I guess you could call it, of the Wiccan religion.
Right.
And so it's, in its most basic sense, it's a person who practices magic, but witches can also be polytheists. You'll find some that are hard polytheists that, believe gods and goddesses are actual intelligent beings that they worship. And then there's the soft polytheists that believe they're really more kind of different aspects of the divine, but not exactly just individual beings. And I have been both of those things in my life. And at this point in time, I'm kind of more what they term pantheist. So I kind of see the divine in everything,
That's cool.
in everyone and everywhere. And that's what I work with, that and ancestors and nature spirits.
And I must be what you just explained, a pantheist. Is that what you called it?
Yes, pantheism. Yep.
Pantheism. Okay, so seeing the divine in everything.
That's right. And I believe the actual term pantheist was coined by a man named John Toland, and I want to say it was in the 1700s. It was around then anyway.
Well,
but it basically means God in nature.
So now, because I love nature. I actually love going for walks here because my neighborhood has lots of trees and flowers, and so going for a walk in my neighborhood's like really, it's really cool because it's very natural. And so when you're talking about the elementals, now you're talking about fairies, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So elementals, fairies. So do you assist other people too with connecting with the elemental kingdom?
I can. My work has mostly been in doing readings, but that is definitely something that I've written a little bit about, and maybe a plan for a workshop in the future if anyone was interested.
That's cool. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be like a really good thing for you. Now, okay, I'm gonna slide off for a second off the subject of the elementals, but do the workshop. I feel like that's a good idea. All right. Now, the next thing is, you were talking about doing readings. So I've never seen this word before. I had to look it up. I was looking at all your stuff and I'm like, what is this? What is a cartomancer?
Okay. A cartomancer is basically somebody who, divines information with a plain deck of playing cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's interesting because the history of it is actually older than what we know of tarot. And it actually goes back to, just before 1300. And there's a lot of fuzzy information on where they actually originated in the world, but a lot of it points to China as being where they first came from. Mm-hmm. And they've morphed over time. They weren't always the clubs, spades, hearts, and diamonds that we know today. There've been other things, like there were acorns or coins or
right.
Lots of different kinds of designs.
Well, I remember my aunt, she used to read cards from a regular deck of cards. Like, I didn't know what tarot cards were until I was in my 20s. I'd never seen tarot cards. And she used to do readings, she used to do readings with her regular deck of cards that she played poker with.
Yep.
and she could, she was pretty good at it, So when you say that they're cards, like regular cards, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Cause I don't use cards, but, I think tarot cards are pretty, but I do like the idea of using regular cards and being able to divine from that. So, and people have been doing this. They've been using, I remember reading something about, like the French ladies used to do readings for each other with playing cards in like the 17th century.
Oh yeah. And actually it's, the red and black colors that we have, as well as the fact that we have a queen in the deck, actually is a French design. Because before that, there weren't women in the cards. And that was, about the 15th century, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, when that all came about. And so they've kind of been more or less the same with different variations since that time. And so, yeah.
Well, okay, now, so when you do your readings, do you use regular playing cards or do you use tarot cards?
I use playing cards. I did, because I learned from my mom and my grandma when I was little. And I think I was kind of like you. I don't think I had seen or really heard much about tarot cards when I was a kid. But when I got into my teen years, I kind of thought, oh, wow, tarot cards. Boy, look at all those pictures. I want to see what those do,
Right. Because they are pretty.
Tangent for a while. Huh?
They are pretty.
What?
The tarot cards, I only look at them because of the pictures. I've never been able to do a reading with tarot cards. I can't. It's like, what? I don't understand it. I just get distracted too by all the pictures. So I think they're interesting and pretty.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And, I have done readings in the past a long time ago with tarot cards when I was trying to learn. And I was like that, like you, my mind will go in a million different directions and trying to interpret the interpretation that, and so on and so forth until I've got so much that I can't see what it was I was looking for to begin with.
Right.
But, yeah, that's why I like my playing. They're simple.
Right. They're not. There's nothing there to distract you. You can see it. You know what. Now, does each card, like the tarot deck, does each card have a meaning?
Oh yes, okay. Absolutely. And oh yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just wondering because I've seen people do both. I've seen them use playing cards and regular tarot cards, and because the tarot cards have there's so many meanings in each of the tarot cards. Like, it's so in depth but I can understand like wanting to learn how to use playing cards because you won't get distracted by the distractions in tarot cards. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand what you're saying because I kind of feel the same way.
Okay. So, all right. Well, we're going to skip off to break. When we come back, we're going to be taking a question, and we're going to talk a little bit about the spring equinox and some handy tips and stuff. So you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com.
We interrupt our scheduled programming to bring you the following conspiracy theory. Humpty Dumpty was pushed. WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk. Haunted, a psychic story by author and radio host Ariel Grace. This is not your average book of hauntings. Haunted, a psychic story is written from a psychic perspective and contains true stories and some handy tips. Written in 3 parts, Haunted, a Psychic Story contains chilling adventures, advice from the archangels, and helpful tips used by Ariel Grace to clear haunted homes around the globe. Haunted, a Psychic Story is available on Amazon, or you can download straight to your Kindle. Haunted, a Psychic Story by Ariel Grace. Get your copy today.
Grow your business. At Signorama, we offer customized solutions for signs, branding, marketing, and advertising. We have a full range of custom sign and graphic services to meet your needs, build your brand, and create your image. Look around and you'll see how our specialists help businesses enhance their visibility and get noticed. Let us work with you to understand your unique marketing goals and help you reach them. Signorama, the way to grow your business. Meet with an expert at your local Signorama or visit us online anytime.
Get lost in the realm of thrilling mystery with the Mojo series by Chris Cedarstein. Follow 6 small-town teenagers who decide to make a ghost hunting documentary and become blindly thrown into a world of haunting chills they were not expecting in Lost Mojo. Or follow college student Scotty Brown, who is aggressively haunted by vivid nightmares and daytime apparitions. As he begins to search for answers, he puts himself and those closest to him face to face with pure evil. Can he defeat these malevolent beings with a small team of paranormal investigators? Find out in her second title, Mojo. The Mojo series is available on paperback or digital download on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and wherever books are sold. The Mojo series by Chris Cedarstein. Get your copies today if you've got the Mojo.
.23 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com. And now our second guest is Laurie O'Driscoll, and you can check her website out at laurieodriscoll.com. She is a witch, and she uses like playing cards to do your readings with. That's called cartomancy. That's cool, huh? I've never, because as a child, I didn't know what a tarot deck was. I mean, I didn't know what one was until I was older. And I think that's really cool that you use regular playing cards. Now we have a question from chat. It's from Bonnie. And Bonnie wants to know, do you believe in God, the Creator?
Hi, Bonnie, and thank you for the question. Simple answer to that is yes, but the way I have come to view God is that God is something that is in everything and in every one of us. I don't see God as being the way some religions that, he punishes us and that sort of thing. And I really believe that the way we can connect with God is through connecting with nature and connecting with each other. And prayer is one of the things that is pretty central to my practice. But when I pray, I'm praying to a divinity that I feel is everywhere. And when prayers get answered, I feel like it's answered through each of us. Like, one example I could say would be, if you're feeling kind of sad and you're really lonely and you're praying for a human connection, and then out of nowhere you get a call from a friend you haven't talked to in a long time. To me, that's kind of how divinity answers prayers. We answer them through each other, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. That's a good way of yeah, that is a good way of seeing it and putting it. Yeah. Yeah. That is.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It's very, no, because we do, divinity works through all of us in some way, shape, or form. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And, yeah.
So, all right. Now we're here to talk about the spring equinox. And how do you celebrate the spring equinox?
Gosh, a few ways. I would say back in my early days of being a witch and all that good stuff, I would have the full-on big circle and all my magical paraphernalia, wands of Thame and stuff and such and so forth. And these days I still have that stuff, but it's more a time when I kind of unplug from all my electronics and go outside and actually connect with nature. And, a big part of that is being aware of what's around you, what you see, even the type of birds that cross your path or whatever. And when you come back from that, or so I suppose when I come back from that, I will write down, my experience and what I felt, because at the same time that I'm doing that, it's also kind of like, I don't know how else to describe it other than like a moving prayer, connecting with the divine by trying to be just focused on nature, on everything. And, so, yeah, and then I do have my little simple ritual that I do. I can tell you my full circle casting if you want me to go into that much detail.
No, well, one of the things that I understand about witches is that everything has meaning. Like if a bird flies, like say it's a bluebird that flies past you, there's a meaning in that. Mm-hmm. If you see acorns, or if you see different plants growing, or if you end up with a mouse following you home, these are all different things that they all have meaning.
Yep. Yeah. Like, gosh, it was only a few months back. Let's see, my daughter was staying at a friend's house. My husband was at work, and my son and I had gone to, I think we went to a movie or something. And when we got home around midnight, and on our welcome mat to our house was a monarch butterfly just sitting right in the middle, where it says welcome home.
Yes.
And that basically, to me, that was a very special kind of communication from the divine, that things were going well, and not to worry, things like that. But yeah, that's, and for somebody else, that might have been a completely different meaning to them.
Right.
It's all very personal. Yeah.
It is a personal thing, and I do feel like we don't always, like, as you said before, you would celebrate the solstice or the equinox with a big circle. And then now you have your smaller ceremony. And sometimes I feel like it's because we mature, we're maturing and we're connecting more to that actual place, or that actual element, or that actual time. So it's more of a very personal connection. So I have a couple of questions here from KOJ. Okay. So one of them is, he says, regarding the variances between tarot and cartomancy, I have always wondered if the actual numbers on the playing cards makes cartomancy more of a numerology thing than tarot might be. Is that correct?
I think some people might look at it that way. I mean, for me specifically, like eights, no matter which suit it is, for me, it's some kind of communication that you'll be receiving or that you're currently dealing with. Some people do use it that way. And, even if you look online for different meanings or look in different books for different interpretations of what each number on each of the suits means, you can find some pretty varying interpretations. So yeah, some people would use it kind of in a numerological way.
Right. Well, God, that didn't even occur to me to use a numerology way. That's a good question, because because the tarot decks, there's so much to them, and our regular decks do have the numbers and they're black and red, and then there's the king, the queen, the jack, and the ace. King, queen, jack, ace. Uh-huh. Right? Okay, gotcha.
That's right. Yep.
All right. Last time, let's see. It's been a long time since I've looked at playing cards. All right. So there's another question from KOJ, and it is, what is the best way to attune yourself to the world during the equinox?
Okay. Well, like I was just saying, actually go outside and experience nature. I mean, that was a big eye-opener to me when I was first studying, a million years ago. A lot of the books you look in, and I was part of a tradition for a while, everything was always indoors and, ceremonies and, very ceremonial. But with each of the holidays, when the weather allows for it, try to get outside and experience, because there is a definite shift in energy at these times. And I would say it probably varies for practitioners, but for me, I especially feel them on the solstices and equinoxes. And I think that probably has to do with that there is an actual astronomical occurrence going on, and it's the whole planet over.
Right. The whole planet over does, we do shift every, with each turn of the season. So like spring equinox, we're having a big shift. And so, and I do feel like we do need to go out if we can. Like I know that it's cold up north and that there's been some crazy, crazy weather. So if you can get outside and walk around and enjoy yourself, touch leaves and touch plants and look at what animals are around you. The veils are thin right now. So remember, the fairies and the elementals will disguise themselves as animals or birds. So just, be present so that you're aware of what you're seeing and doing outside. So, Laurie, do you do any kind of meditation or anything like that to connect with the you talked about a moving meditation, but do you ever sit to connect to the nature kingdom? Oh, wow. Okay. So while we're talking and while we're doing our, Spring Equinox show, there are ways that you can connect to the elemental kingdom. The best times of day to connect to them are during sunset and sunrise. That's when, like, the veils are really, very thin. Those are powerful times, and those are times when you'll truly see or feel or hear from them. So taking a walk and sitting in a place quietly and just kind of having your eyes, a little bit open while you're connecting to that area is going to help you connect to and be able to see through that veil that is thin right now. So for those of you that the spring equinox is coming up right now, you're probably feeling like, wow, what is going on? That big shift. And it is a big shift. It's huge. And it happens, spring, fall, and then the solstices, summer, and winter. And during these 4 times, these 4 times, this is the time to really celebrate our seasons. And, so with that being said, that's a good way of connecting to and celebrating the spring solstice. You don't have to do any rituals or anything like that. You just have to work on you and connecting to nature, the natural kingdom. If you do rituals inside, that's a good thing too, because you're honoring that divine within you. So we're just like, and we're also going through Mercury in retrograde. The Mercury in retrograde will start next week. Yay, us. So remember to be patient, and to be patient while we go through retrograde during the spring equinox. And we'll just we'll be able to move through it. So remember, when you're starting to practice your connecting to nature and that, be patient during this time as as we move through March, because March seems to be that this month is going to be that energetic thing that's going to shift us through. And like we were talking about when Laura was on earlier, you're going to feel like, plugged up, and then you're going to feel like the cork releases in April, which is awesome because we're all looking forward to April. So, as we're sitting here and we're talking about the spring equinox, we're going to go off to break real quick. And when we come back, we're going to answer some more of your questions. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net.
Absolutely, positively has to be the best. WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk. Shopping, dining, beautiful lakes and rivers, and a monster? Welcome to Braxton County, West Virginia. Centrally located, Braxton County, West Virginia is the ideal place to visit. Natural beauty and recreation abound with 2 beautiful lakes for easy kayaking and canoeing, and many hiking trails. Did we mention the Flat Woods Monster? That's That's right. Visit Braxton County, West Virginia's Flatwoods Monster Museum and not only learn about the Flatwoods Monster, but walk in the same footsteps as the people who witnessed it. Nearly all of our attractions can be found within a few miles of Interstate 79. Visit us online at braxtonwv.org. That's braxtonwv.org. Braxton County, West Virginia. Center yourself here.
.39 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com. And we are talking to Laurie O'Driscoll tonight. You can check out our website at laurieodriscoll.com. And we do have a question in chat for you, Laurie. Okay. Bonnie wants to know, is the time frame the same for each? And I think she's talking about the equinoxes and the solstices.
Okay. Let's see. On the equinox, the sun is shining basically right over the equator. So the actual length of day and night is virtually the same the planet over. Just the difference between, say, the spring equinox and the autumn equinox would be that in the northern hemisphere, the sun is starting to move, well, at least as it looks to us, move north. And it makes our days longer and longer until we get to the summer solstice, when in the northern hemisphere, we're experiencing the longest day of the year.
Right.
And, right, yeah.
So, but for each equinox, equinox, solstice, it happens around this, it's like the same day, correct?
It can actually vary by a couple days, because it's not, the stars and all this don't go by our little calendar.
Right.
But what is interesting is that, we're not going to see, in the past that we have had the equinox occur on, say, March 21st and so on. Mm-hmm. We won't actually see that again until, let's see, I think it was 2101 at least in the United States with the time. So it's going to be the 19th or 20th, from what I was reading earlier about it anyway.
So now, does the energy of the equinox last? Like, say, we're talking about the spring equinox, and we'll use it as an example. Like this year, it is on the 21st, correct?
I can't remember now.
So, does the energy for the equinox last a day before, the day of, and a day after? Is it energetically?
Energetically, yeah, a lot of people will work with it that way. Like even with the full moons, there'll be the day of, the day, or the day before and the day after, when the energy and the power of that time can be worked with. To me, if you're trying to do some kind of magical working, I would try to work it on the day of the equinox. Obviously, that's not always convenient, because we have our little lives with our jobs and things of that nature. Yeah. So don't stress about it if you can't do it, exactly at the very second that the equinox occurs. A lot of it is your intention and how you feel.
Right. So, and I've heard that too before, because we all do have our lives. We have all of our, what we do during the week. So if the equinoxes happens like at noon on a Wednesday, a lot of us are at work. So when we get home from work and we're getting settled down for the night and getting ready to manifest, it is all about intention and will, correct?
That's right. At least that's the way I see it. But yes, yeah, you're right on my wavelength.
Okay, no, I'm just because like I'm not that, but this is when I'm trying to create something or manifest, work on something. I do use a lot of intention, my will, my heart, and it does take you do have to know yourself pretty well, correct? In order to do these things? Yeah. And it's like I say in the things I write, and I've got a free ebook on my site that has some simple little spells you can use. Basically, it's really hard to work a spell if you're angry or sad or frustrated at something. You really need to clear all that energy out and raise up some good energy in yourself. You want to feel really great when you're working magic, because otherwise it just can bog down any results that you're aiming for, at least in my experience. Okay, well, yeah, because I was wondering about that, because I've heard different things about casting and creating and manifesting, and and also like when I used to make jewelry, and so I would only make jewelry if I was really feeling the vibe,
Yeah.
And if I wasn't feeling the vibe, then I wouldn't do it, because then I knew that peeps would look at it and go, what's wrong with it?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. And and that is true. I mean, even people who don't feel like they're, magical or witches or whatever you want to term for yourself, people can feel a difference in something. They may not know the word to use for it, or, it may not fit exactly in with their religious or spiritual lexicon, but people can feel a difference in how things are made. And that's why, that's why it's important that, at least for me, when you're going to do a working, you need to ground and center, clear yourself, and then raise up your energy to, focus it toward what you're trying to manifest in your world.
Well, that's good. That's cool, because I feel that way too, whether it's working a spell like you do or just trying to create, which is the same thing. We're doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. We're just using different words.
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, even you'll see, like the law of attraction is, to me, that's it's a way of working magic. Mm-hmm. That's the way I see it. And a lot of times people will try to explain spell work as being similar to prayer, Mm-hmm. And I've even described it as, prayer, but with props. You have your candle or your oil or your herbs, crystals, whatever it is you're using. But it is, to me, it's all, magic is your way of connecting with the divine for a purpose. And that's how I see it at this point in time.
Well, I think that's a good way of putting it, because magic is, and a long time ago too, I heard that magic is a root word for imagination.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And visualizing is a huge component in magic too. It's much easier if you can actually see in your mind the thing you're trying to bring into your life. And there's a lot of meditations and things you can find, especially online, God, this is great. When I was learning, it was bookstores, and,
right.
And when I was a teen, I'd actually carry all my books on magic in a bag, and now you can just stick them on a Kindle or have them on your phone. Would have saved me a lot of backache back then.
No, I get that. That's why I like my Kindle. I think I have 100 books on my Kindle right now, which is awesome. But
yeah.
All right, so now. How can peeps get a hold of you for readings or for your writings, your blog?
Sure. You can find out about both at my website, which is laurieodriscoll.com, LaurieOdriscoll.com. I'm on all kinds of social media. I'm on Facebook. You can find me as Laurie O'Driscoll Practical Holistic Witchery if you're looking for me on Facebook. On Twitter, I'm LP O'Driscoll. On Instagram, it's just Laurie O'Driscoll. Let's see. Pinterest, I'm Laurie O'Driscoll. I'm pretty much Laurie O'Driscoll on everything except Twitter. But yeah. And I also wanted to let everyone know I have a free opt-in on my website if you sign up for my newsletter, which is a great way to, keep in touch with any specials or anything that I have going on. When you opt in through my newsletter, you will get a lesson a day for 7 days in cartomancy.
Oh, cool.
And, yeah. So it's just a little way to, jumpstart your own practice. And I'm available, by email or social media to, if you have any questions about that. So yeah. And you know what? I also have on Facebook, it's a small group right now, but I have a group which you can find on my Facebook page. It's Covenant of the Sacred Divine. And years ago, when I sort of switched from a polytheistic practice to more of a pantheistic practice, I was really struggling what to call God.
Right.
And in a meditation, Sacred Divine just popped into my head. And so that's kind of my real super formal name for God at this time. But yeah, we talk about mysticism or magic and all kinds of good things like that.
Well, that's cool that people have a place to land, because I feel like there are a lot of landing places. There's a lot of information on the internet, and some of it is kind of, but yeah. It's always good to have a person, even if it's through a group on Facebook. There are people there that can answer questions, or that you can, write out questions, or that you can connect with that are aligned with what you're doing or what you're showing, or, they're resonating with the group. So it's always good to have somewhere to land that you feel safe. I think that's the best thing, because there's a lot of people that say you have to. And whenever somebody tells me I have to do anything, I just kind of go, well, I got to go now because I got stuff to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like I was, that was a big problem with my practice in the beginning, years ago, was I was trying so hard to make it all perfect. And then I was in a tradition for a while, and so I was doing everything the tradition's way. And at one point, I just said, okay, I'm not reading anything to do with Wicca, witchcraft, paganism. And I think I went about a year without doing that. And after that year, I started writing my own rituals and, my own words for my spells. And I really let my heart and my intuition be my guide, for any new information or books or whatever that I might have been searching for. And I encourage other people to do the same thing. I mean, if something works for somebody else, it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work for you for whatever reason, and that's not a bad thing. a lot of this stuff you can make your own spells, you can make your own rituals, and you can connect with the divine in the way that you're called to do. And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's awesome.
That's really what I encourage people.
Well, and I feel like that's a good thing too, because we do need time to integrate what we've been learning. I feel like that's, a lot of people forget that I took this workshop, now I got to do it. No, take some time to integrate what you learned before you go out in the world and practice it or whatever. And I feel like that integration or incubation period sometimes gets, stepped over before people start practicing.
Yes. Yeah. And, also, if you're trying to follow a set of instructions, sometimes it's just so limiting, and once you allow yourself to step outside that box, and open up to, whatever messages the universe is trying to send you in, lots of different ways.
Yeah.
And world becomes so much more alive, and your practice can become so much more profound and personal. It's really amazing.
It is. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. We're definitely going to have you back, because I feel like we have a lot to talk about, a lot to share, and I feel like the audience would like to hear more about the different ideas that you've been throwing out there tonight. So, yes, definitely having you back.
Well, I would love that. That would be just great.
Awesome. So we are but thank you for being on the show tonight, and hold on for just a second. I'm just gonna let everybody know that we do have our other shows on during the week. We have Surviving Evidence Monday nights, 8 Eastern with Chris and Phil. Keeping the Spirits Alive Tuesday nights, 7 Eastern with John Tobin. Haunted Voices Radio Tuesday nights, 9 Eastern with Mr. Todd Bates. Paranormal Experience with my favorite, Kat Hodson, Wednesday nights, 8 Eastern. Path of Discovery, Lisa Birkeland, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. Ghost Talk Radio, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And Fate Radio with Todd Bates on Friday nights. And next week, A Gang of Girls Radio, we're doing the Chakra Show, everybody. So when you join us, make sure that you've got something to write with, because we're going to have a lot of information we're going to throw at you. Plus, we'll be doing meditations throughout the show. So we'll be connecting to each chakra and clearing them out, getting them all straightened up, because it's spring and we want to get everything clear for you, get that energy moving and grooving. Okay? So next week on A Gang of Girls Radio, we're doing the Chakra Show. Okay. So thank you for listening tonight. Thank you for joining us in chat and asking questions. And have a wonderful week. Keep your heart open and align with the energy of love. This is Ariel Grace from A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net. Good night, everyone. Have a great week.